Samsung will debut new Wear OS smartwatches next month. This year, the Galaxy Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic will be introduced at Unpacked, but the newest leaks simply reveal battery capacity and live photos of the wearables. The Telecommunication Equipment Network Access License in China and the National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission show the battery update and live photos of Samsung's Galaxy Watch 8 and Classic. Here's what we know about the battery capacity of the Samsung Galaxy smartwatches from Telecommunication Equipment Network Access License and National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission. Samsung's Galaxy Watch 8 may be packed with a 426 mAh battery. The capacity may be varied on the other size selection, as normal. It's virtually the same battery capacity as the Galaxy Watch 7, which has a 425 mAh battery. Previously, the Galaxy Watch 8 was believed to feature the 312 mAh battery in the 40mm variant and the 435 mAh battery in the 44mm size. That stated, the UL Demco specified an entirely different battery capacity for the Watch 8 44mm. The Watch 8 Classic will be offered in a single size with a 445 mAh battery. It's a tiny increase over the 425 mAh battery of the Watch 6 Classic. Note that the Watch 7 series doesn't have a Classic variation, whereas the Watch 5 has Pro. That said, obtaining a larger dial on the basic model brings in a Classic-sized battery. If you are purchasing the 40mm Watch 8, the battery capacity would be about 100 mAh less than the second choice offered for the identical watch. The leaked live photos show the Watch 8 and Classic with an Ultra-inspired squircle design. The dial will neither be round nor rectangular, but a blend of both designs, which Samsung introduced with the Watch Ultra last year. The Galaxy Watch 8 Classic leaks are such a disappointment that I'm going to purchase this watch instead. I've been a fan of the Samsung Galaxy Watch Classic for about as long as the watch has been around. My first Wear OS wristwatch was the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, and when a sale showed up on Amazon for the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, I exchanged my old model for the new one, even though I knew not much had changed. When I say the reported leaks of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Classic put me off, it means a lot. Samsung removed everything I liked about the traditional series and tossed it in the dumpster, replacing it with a design that's not traditional. Because of it, I won't purchase the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, and I know which watch will replace my Samsung smartwatch, the OnePlus Watch 3. The Galaxy Watch Classic has lost its way. Ask any Galaxy Watch Classic lover what they appreciate about that watch line, and the response will be one of three things: the design, the revolving bezel, or both. I'm no exception to that norm. While I first enjoyed the rotating bezel, my ardor for it has cooled. Still, I like the design, and that design always attracts me back, no matter how many other watches I try. When it arrived, the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic wasn't a fresh design, since it was the spiritual successor to the Galaxy Watch 3, where style was concerned. The Classic component was to signify that the main Galaxy Watch has moved on, adopting a leaner and simpler style, swooping lines, and smooth shapes. The Classic was a throwback, but it was a throwback some people embraced. Sales numbers for specific models aren't revealed, but I like to assume that the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic was launched 2 years later because the prior edition had been a hit. I adore the Galaxy Watch Classic range since it's a throwback. It calls back to traditional timepieces and isn't ashamed to look like them. If the rumors and leaks are to be believed, the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic has lost all of that. In Samsung's defense, the rotating bezel is still there. However, it's been grafted onto what is the Galaxy Watch Ultra, a design that's about as far from classic as it gets. The Ultra, which launched last year, is a huge smartwatch with a square circle, squircle body form. It's huge, tough, in your face, and suited for the Ultra's emphasis on daring outdoor pastimes. It's not a good match for a watch that's intended to reflect the essence of calm, unobtrusive design. That's not to say I don't enjoy that the Ultra exists. On the contrary, I prefer that Samsung offers an outdoors-focused device. I really appreciate that it was reportedly striving for a tick-tock release method of being an outside watch 1 year and a classic the next, with a new edition of the mainstream Galaxy Watch every year. It works well since you don't need a new version of the Classic Pro or Ultra every year. That now appears to have gone out of the window since the Classic now looks like an Ultra. It's hard for me to say I identify the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic as a Galaxy Watch Classic, since much of what marked the Classic has gone. The rotating bezel is still there, but it looks so absurdly out of place that it may as well not be. I won't be purchasing the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. However, that's alright since I've discovered a smartwatch that's much better. Samsung is in risk of being rendered obsolete by this wristwatch upstart. I got an opportunity to sample the OnePlus Watch 3 earlier this year, and I enjoyed it. It made me doubt my devotion to the Galaxy Watch Classic, even before the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic's facelift was unveiled. It wasn't simply that the OnePlus Watch 3 is the more powerful and smoothest of the two to operate. It's the newer model, and I gave the previous watch some leniency in that aspect. In many respects, the OnePlus is cheerfully eating Samsung's lunch. I cooled on the Classic's rotating bezel since I didn't use it much. Moving my hand to use it correctly never seemed natural, and it went by the wayside. However, I utilized the OnePlus Watch 3's spinning crown all the time. I assume that's because I don't need to move my hand to use it. Because it's positioned beside the buttons where my fingers already are, it's quicker and simpler to use than the touchscreen. The design is amazing. While I adore the style of the older Classic, the OnePlus Watch 3 is a stunning wristwatch. It puts the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic into a cocked hat, in my view. However, the battery life was the frosting on the cake. Smartwatches are infamous for their mediocre battery life. A day's battery life is good for a phone you can put down, but a smartwatch is supposed to be worn all the time, and you need to set aside time to let it charge. It's been my biggest concern with them. Even my favorite Galaxy Watch 6 Classic requires daily charging. The OnePlus Watch 3 typically lasts 3 or 4 days on a single charge, blowing every wristwatch I've tried out of the water. It still has a way to go to surpass fitness devices, but in terms of a pure smartwatch, the OnePlus Watch 3 is practically unmatched. While it's enormous and hefty, I can't believe that won't be the case with the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, which Samsung might finally win me back. It would be a lie to suggest Samsung has no opportunity to win me back. After all, the Korean corporation made a few blunders over the years, most notably when it nearly blew everyone up. Still, we've always gone back to it. That's because it's incredibly excellent at creating smartphones and smartwatches. So although, for the time, OnePlus has trapped my heart via my wrist, there's no reason why Samsung can't earn its spot back again. Samsung has some work to do. The battery life is the greatest gulf that requires crossing. OnePlus has proven what's possible, and it's so hard to go back to daily charging after living with a multi-day powerhouse. If OnePlus can accomplish it, so can Samsung. Unless anything substantial changes, or I have a change of heart after witnessing the unveiling scheduled in mid-July, I fear the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic is a lost cause for me. That means Samsung has nothing to lose and everything to gain with the Galaxy Watch 10 Classic. Here's hoping it's a stunner. Next, Samsung's 2025 Galaxy Watch range is fascinating, but there's something lacking. Yes, interesting is often the term one employs when there's nothing else to say about a person, product, or firm. Some of the US president's followers, for instance, could label Trump mobile and the T1 phone fascinating, although I can easily think of numerous words more apt for the Trump organization's mobile industry revolutionizing efforts. Similarly, you might classify the battle between the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder as exciting, even though we all sort of know how this year's NBA Finals will conclude. And yes, I think it defines Samsung's revamped 2025 smartwatch portfolio best, since the newly leaked and soon-to-be released Galaxy Watch 8, Watch 8 Classic, and 2nd Gen Watch Ultra appear to fall short of a more hyperbolic label, at least for the time being. A splash of color and more variation would be excellent. I truly hate that I even need to mention this, but although color selections are not especially essential, for me, at least, when it comes to new smartphones, smartwatches are a totally other story. These are fashion goods just as much as they are tech tools, which means that every design detail may be considerably important for a potential consumer. That includes the product's form, which I'm really not going to remark on today, since I'm not too troubled by the squircle Samsung will presumably spread across the whole Galaxy Watch family this year. crucial aspects like weight and thickness, and yes, ain't chubs. Going back to the above point, I was bitterly disappointed to hear that the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is all but guaranteed to rock an undoubtedly flashy coral red hue, among other options, while the Galaxy Watch 8 is set to come in graphite and silver colorways only, with the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic tipped for even more mundane black and white flavors. The Galaxy Watch Ultra 2025, meanwhile, is anticipated to debut in titanium blue, titanium gray, and titanium silver variants shortly, which sounds a bit more interesting, until you stare at that promising blue version and risk falling asleep out of boredom. And while we're on the topic, why do mainstream rugged smartwatches have to come in a single size? That was the case with the first-gen Galaxy Watch Ultra, as well as the Apple Watch Ultra and Apple Watch Ultra 2. And there's supposedly a very likelihood the next-gen Galaxy Watch Ultra will provide no case size variety whatsoever. I know, a smaller than 47mm Watch Ultra may need to cut some significant battery life corners. But who says there's no demand for a tiny tough watch with no more than a day of operating times between charges, a sleeker and thinner shell, and ideally, a cheaper price point? Besides, if Garmin can pull off numerous sizes for so many of its popular sturdy smartwatches, why wouldn't Samsung be able to accomplish the same thing? Of course, the single-size Galaxy Watch 8 Classic is a significant concern too, and since it follows in the footsteps of a Galaxy Watch 6 Classic available with both 43 and 47mm casings, this dilemma is similarly hard to get my brain around. Did anybody complain about too much variation on any of Samsung's prior wearable devices? If not, what is the corporation thinking? So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.